warm welcome to this webinar, right? And it's going to be a more interactive webinar, right? I'm sure there are some students, those who are into ninth and 10th class, and there are some parents also, those who have joined this. And let me introduce you my mentor, right? Mr. Hemant Bapat. So he is one of our senior mentor working with Dheya as a freelancer or a consultant from last few years, right? And he is doing a lot of great work with us. He has guided so many kids and they are doing wonders in their career, right? So I would like to welcome you, sir, today. And I would like you to talk, right, something about your experience, how this career mentoring is done from there and how it is actually helping students and parents and save their valuable time, effort, money, everything, right? And then we will take some of the questions by parents and the student, right? And then we'll wind up this entire webinar. So over to you, Hemant sir. So you can take them through this entire short presentations or whatever we do actually and how we're impacting people. And then we will open the entire thing for audience. Thank you.
So thank you so much for joining this webinar. I think the question we all have is what's next? And then we all stumble on this question. For the parents who are of my or similar age, when I was in that period, I never had a mentor or a question what to do next, because it was simple those days that if you have got so much mark, go to engineering or medical, if you got so much mark, do commerce or arts, and options are very limited. But today, as we see, the options are enormous. One is there are multiple options which are coming through. The huge change happening in the world, the environment, the technology, the challenges everywhere. And at the same time, as parents, we all are more aware in terms of the careers that our kids want to do. Because of various reasons, I don't want to get into the reasons, but yes, there's a positive change that we are all aware and concerned in terms of what is right for my kid to do. And that brings us to this topic. So we will quickly go through in terms of our learnings and then the questions that we have, we can take it. So before I get into the career, I just want to set the context. When we look at the whole life journey that we have, I just want to reconfirm that all can hear me. And somebody just put in a chat box that you can hear. You can hear me? Okay, thank you so much, Divyanshu. Thank you. So if you take the whole life journey, let's say we are looking at our kids to live up to the age of 100, right? With the technology and medicine that's going strong, 95 to 100 will be age that is very easy. So if you look at the whole lifespan that we have, initial 5 or 6 years of age is best time of life that we call it. No tensions, no worry. And the child really enjoys the life. As we go along, child starts his or her school. And then the pressure or the tension or stress starts building up in terms of studies, in terms of expectations from parents and so on and so forth. And then we have the time for higher education to choose what to do, what not to do. And then we get into either a job or a business or entrepreneurship. So typically the period between birth to education, if I put it around 20 years or 22 or 25 years, depending on the education that we take. Thereafter we have around 40 to 45 years of work life, whether it is a hardcore job, business or a social service that we do, but we are still active. So that means whatever we decide to do in life for 45 years, if you don't invest time now to think back and decide what you want to do, it might be late in the game. Okay, and that's where we talk about in terms of what to do next. And traditionally what we do, we choose the option that we have in front of us: science, technology, medicine, arts, commerce, very traditional way. But the way Dheya looks at it is very different. What we really look at is, don't think about the options first. As an individual, we can achieve what we are best suited for. And that's, we want to know our strengths. What are my strengths? What are your child's strengths? Look at the strengths first. What we are capable to do. How we are made up of. And then ask a question. I think I know what I want to do, right? So identify your strengths, interest, and then the areas that you can focus on. So what we do at Dheya typically is we run a psychometric test for the student. And that helps us to evaluate candidates' three capabilities. One is inherent capabilities that the student has in terms of what they can do best. Second, the behavioral aspects in terms of how the student will react or behave in a particular scenario. And third is the interest areas that the student will have. The psychometric test will give us the bundle in terms of the overall capability of an individual. Based on that capability, we take that report, we analyze the report, we have tools that we apply this report on, and then we get the best possible choices. We apply our knowledge, like I am a senior mentor, I apply my own knowledge and experience. And then we get into a session with the student and the parents for a couple of hours to go through the details. validate the data points, and then with a rigorous discussion backed by the scientific analysis report of the student, then we come out with solutions in terms of the student would do best in terms of the career. So the approach that we typically take is we first look at the strength that a person would have, then we look at the capabilities that this person would have, and then we backtrack and say that okay, now in order to achieve this career, in order to do this, what are the education parameters? So this is a overall journey. So in order to get into a career which will run for typically 30 to 45 years, we first go back and look at what are the strengths that person has, the student has, help him or her to decide a career and then take the education path. So this is the typical. Now when we talk about a career journey, a few pointers. It encompasses education as the first milestone, then the occupation that we do, the wealth that the person would achieve, the success, the dreams that will be fulfilled, the happiness that one would achieve as we go along, and of course the proud feeling, and nowadays the social awareness, the social feedback. These are all parameters of achievement of every individual's career. And as I always say, that career is being worthy and not just about education or a success or a profession. Right? Every individual should feel worthy of doing something. Now, when we talk about career, right, how do we really choose a career? So when we talk about a career, we have to first talk about world of work. 30 to 45 years of period where they will invest or spend. Where am I going to work actually? What kind of work I'm going to do? That's what we call it as a world of work. It could be different. Say for example, if somebody is a medicine, a doctor, so the world of work would be medicine. It could be surgery, it could be radiography. Somebody is into accounting or financials. The world of work is financials or accounting. And the areas could be a chartered accountant, a financial analyst, a portfolio manager, a banker, so on and so forth. Similarly, if somebody is into a physical activity, a person could be in army, navy, or a sports person, or a mountaineer. There are people who are taking mountain as a career. So various type of work, that is what will really determine your career path. So as a part of this whole process, we will look at what is the best suited world of work or type of work that one would achieve and get satisfied or get values. And then we backtrack and look at the education recommendations that one would do. Right. So this is typically a path. Now, I just want to share a couple of examples, how awareness is changing. Now, when we do coaching, I've come across a few examples. One example is a person is in ninth standard, a student is in ninth standard, and I was coaching them. They were very blank in terms of what to do. When I spoke to them first time, they says, I'm not sure. My son likes drawing very much. He's into art. But at the same time, his maths and physics is very strong. So I'm not sure what to do. And that's where we match the personality report. We talk to them and find out what is the best suited for this candidate. Second example I can give is, I had a very pointed question from one of the girls. She says, I'm very sure in terms of what I want to do. I want to be in commerce field, but I'm not sure whether I should be a chartered accountant or I should be a financial analyst. Very pointed question. Very pointed question. So we get both the type of students and parents. Why I wanted to share that example is the extent of awareness is changing across, and we will find students and parents with all the capabilities, all the questions, different type of perspective. The whole idea is whatever framework that we have at Dheya takes care of all the types of questions that a parent and student do. Now, the question is whether you do this in 12th, graduation or early. My recommendation would be do it around 9th or 10th. Simply because if somebody is going little later in the life, and if your results or your outcome of your assessment, say for example, if somebody is doing a commerce 11th and 12th, and as a part of assessment, as a part of discussion, the person finds out that, oh, I am more into food technology or I am more into agriculture technology. It might be too late for that person because that person would have invested 1 or 2 years of 11th and 12th, and then it might be late to change the track. But it's always better to do early and ask that question. Now, some parent ask me a question, my kid is in 9th or 10th. When I talk to them about career, they do not understand anything. How can they really decide what career they want to do? Do you think it is too early to talk about? And the response is, as a parent, yes, we put them into a very comfort zone, and that's why we never listen to them or help them to open their mind. But my experience in these kind of sessions is, in the first 5 minutes of the discussion with kids, they seem to be mature, but towards the end of the session, after 2 hours, they are fully into the gear and they exactly know what they want to do. They are mature kids. We don't take opportunity to decide what they want. So I'm just sharing some examples of part of my career mentoring sessions. So overall, it's an early start, better start than late. So coming back to the topic, so world of work or type of work is something what we decide first and then back. Now we talk about the world of work. We also look at what are the future trends that we are looking at. In this, it's very easy to look at the point say go become a chartered accountant or financial or become a consultant. But we also have a huge sound research team who keeps on churning the data that's happening in the market to look at what are the future trends. And when we talk about career choices, we always ensure that the futuristic career choices are always on the top front. If you take an example, when 20 years back, secretary, steno, or typist was a job which was in demand. But as computers, emails came in, social media came in, the technological revolution came in, all those jobs became irrelevant. Similarly, today, the job of internet is changing the whole world. Marketing or e-commerce has changed the buying patterns totally. Right? So we keep looking at all these aspects in terms of how the things are going and the new technology like 3D printing changing the world, the mobile technology, the nanotechnology. So we keep looking at the whole scenario in terms of what's happening in the future because when we talk about the career for students, we are thinking 40 years ahead or at least 25 to 30 years ahead because their 11th, 12th and one post graduation will take anywhere between 6 to 7 or 8 years depending on what they do and then 30 years of career or 40 years of career. So we have to look ahead in terms of what lies ahead and what is really the scope that these people will have along with the technology. Right? So this is where we look at. Now, when I talk about the overall Dheya career bank, the research team continuously upgrades all the data points that we have. So at Dheya, we have around 22,000 plus career options to choose at and which spans across 300 plus specializations. When I say specialization, let's say nanotechnology is a specialization, artificial intelligence is a specialization. So I'm talking about those kind of niche specialization. We also have a data and we also help you in terms of what's the approach that you can take to achieve this kind of a thing. Now I just want to take up to the next slide is typically traditionally the pathway to the career is still same. After 10th, we can choose science, we can choose commerce or arts, and then we branch out. Vocational is also there, which I've considered right now as a part of arts or science, depending on their expansion. So these are still the entry gates to the career next level education. So when we do this assessment, we suggest the students what is the career path they would take and what are the streams they should take in 11th. So that's how a typical journey that we do. Now coming to the overall offering that Dheya has is in terms of what we do is we have host of areas that we work on. One is career guidance or career mentoring. We also do career planning and mentoring on a long-term life journey. We also have lifelong mentoring support. In addition to that, we also have gurukuls that we help students to get ready for their next level and so on and so forth. If you visit their website, you'll get more details. But one thing I can assure you is this relationship is long-term. It doesn't stop at just giving a report or a discussion at a couple of hours video conference. The relationship is much long term. We are available and we are committed to ensure that kids do great. And why I say that simply because if you see the demographic data that India is going through, by 2030 or 2035, India will be the youngest country in the world with around 60% population below 30 years old, which means all the students whom we are talking now will be attaining that age in the next 10 years and they are the people who are going to shape up this country. They are the people who are going to bring India on the forefront, make India a multi-trillion country, if I may say so. So if we help them to choose the right career path now, I think it will be the best of both the worlds. And that's what Dheya is committed on. That's why all mentors are committed. And I can vouch for it. The last but not the least, I just want to, what matters to us as mentors, when I enter the session with the kid on the day one, we start with discussion, we start the journey. And towards the end of the session, when I see the smiling face of the student and parents in the I know what I want to do. I think that's a wow moment which everybody is looking for. And that's why we all are committed and we are work towards. So thank you so much. I will be more than happy to take any question. But Arvind, sir, over to you if you want to take it forward.
So let me summarize this entire valuable information. See, the idea of arranging this entire session is to make you understand why career planning is important, right? We are going to spend almost any child, like we all have spent almost 18 years of our life in getting educated. So we do 10 plus 2 graduation, post graduation, and all these things. But why? The why remains the same, right? Because I want to live my life or I want to walk for 40 years. And that should be very, very clear in the anyone's mind, right? And the child's, those who are appearing 10th and 12th, right? They should be very clear whatever they are doing with the purpose, right? So with this, what we will do, we will open this entire forum to ask the questions, right? And I want to make it more interactive. And we have come here to looking some solution, some kind of a thing which you want to discuss. So I will request anyone who has a question, probably we can pick up the question one by one. Might be you can type your what are the options available in mass media. Okay. See, we will not be answering a very to the point questions for the reason because we don't know what is the suitable thing for you. These all informations are available on Google, on any social platform. So if you just type mass media, you will get the answer, right? We can help you how we are helping people. Like I'll give you some example, right? Or what you should look for at this point of time, right? Instead of just focusing on the education part, right? We should also look at the same time what is my career destination? What is my career goal? If you have decided and if you know the mass media is going to be the right thing, then probably n number of information is available. Where we can help you out is identifying the right goal, right purpose of your life so that you are happy at the end of the day.
So Arvind, can I just add here?
Yeah.
So I think the question, I can see two questions. One is about mass media, very pointed question about hotel management. So I want to approach this way. As Ajit said, if you type on Google, you will see different courses on mass media or hotel. The whole idea is not that. This girl already had a mentoring session with some other agency and they told her that go to arts because you are fit for doing arts. And she called me because I know her. She called me, Hemant, I got a mentoring session. I want to consult you. They told me arts, but I don't want to do arts. I said, why did you not talk to them? They said, you are fit for arts, go ahead with the arts. And then everybody, my parents also say, go to arts. But I don't want to do. I said, fine. So we ran into the test. And what revealed is, when she was saying I'm not interested in arts, her personality is totally different. Right? So I think the whole idea what we are trying to say is, it's good that you're in mass media, but if you have a valid scientific data to support that yes, your student or your kid is fit for mass media, you have 100% confidence that they will be successful. Because most of the time, students, kids will say, my uncle is in mass media, or they are really wow about the brand value and may not be the foundational decision. So whole idea what we're talking now about is the foundational analysis of what suits you best. And then if mass media is the real option, then yes, we can talk about what else, what can be done.
And even the mass media is an education, right? If I have to talk about media as a career, if you just check the TV, like we watch the news, television, and all these things, there are so many things is done, right? So there are news anchors, right? There are people those who are doing the editing. There are people those who are collecting the information processing. There are so many things even in the mass media, right? But what you will be doing if you have not decided, so mass media is going to be just like a degree, right? I just have a degree, but I'm not sure what kind of a work life I'm going to do. So again, my focus is should be entirely on what I am doing, right? Let's take some example. Like I have Juhi Sharma. She's asking, I want to become an engineer, but I'm not sure if I want to just walk in front of computer whole day. So can you guide me, please? I'll give a very simple example, right? Now let's understand. Juhi goes for a computer science, BTech computer science. Right? A lot of people they come and say, okay, I have taken admission into engineering, right? Now, but and that too into the computer science. There are many, but I'm just giving one example. Now, computer science, with the computer science, I can tell you can do 10 things. Let's count it. We can do the web designing. So if you are very creative by nature, right, you can always get into web designing, UI, UX, where the creativity is required, one part, with the same degree. I can also get into IT sales, right? I know the technology, but I don't want to sit in front of the computer and I don't want to do the programming. But what is my strength? I love talking to people. So with the same degree, I can get into computers or IT sales, right? So you can see that a lot of big companies they have an IT sales manager who get the orders, but they're not involved in delivering the things. Now let's come to third role. You got the business, Now there is someone we call as a business analyst. Now they have a complete understanding of a business and they also know which all technology can be used. So they are kind of a bridge between the company who's looking for the solution and the company who's delivering the solution. What is the qualification required? The engineering part. So I take a computer science and I love sitting in front of the computer. I don't love talking to people, communicating with the people. Probably I can become a software programmer. So what I'm trying to say, with the same degree, you are getting into four fields, but not four. There are so many. Even similarly in any field, whether you took engineering into mechanical, electrical, electronics, any, I'm talking about the engineering. But even if you talk about the management part, right? Let's assume somebody takes he is very interested into management and he says, okay, I want to get into marketing. Even in the marketing, there are so many things, right? But the personality, the ability, the interest required to get any field, right? You have to evaluate. If you're not evaluating, what will happen? You will end up with a degree. A lot of career counselor in the market, they will say, okay, why don't you do computer science? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? But at the end of the day, if you don't know where you are going to use that degree, you just have a piece of paper. As simple as that.
Yeah. So, Zuri, one more point. Let's say you want to a computer science engineer. Now, computer science engineer is a very generic term. If I say
Right.
that, so there are so many specialized. So you can identify how exactly your personality is, and then you can get into say robotics, artificial intelligence, data science. There are so many courses around which allows you, or you can actually be a computer science engineer, and you can apply that in robotics, aerospace, e-commerce. There are so many fields you can apply your knowledge. So it all depends on exactly where you want to use that. You don't have to necessarily sit in front of computer. But I can tell you on the lighter side is whether you are a computer engineer or not, everybody has to sit in front of computer nowadays because of this COVID, right? We all are sitting in front of computer the whole day, practically. That's how it is.
So any field you choose, there's immense possibilities and the transformation is happening everywhere. You just have to be sure why you are doing this. You should have a purpose for acquiring any kind of education. As simple as that. And I would like to add one more thing, few more things right here is see difference, right? When we say career guidance, there are a lot of people they are into the information business. Now these all people, those who are asking the questions, right? I say you are looking for a information, these information are available anywhere, right? But what you should look for is a solution. Now the solution is very simple. I am looking for a career which can give me all whatever you said, the fulfillment, the happiness. There are many things, right? And when you choose a career, there are so many factors. There are so many factors which you have to take care, right? So Dheya has the expertise into dealing with you, like dealing with the students, parents, and customizing this entire solution as per your requirement, right? Even though it might be in this audience, there are two people, they have a similar kind of abilities, but their parental backgrounds are different, their financial backgrounds are different, their aspirations are different, all these things are different, right? So my career cannot be same although I have a similar kind of a competency. So we go little deeper of a career, right? Little deeper about the aspiration, what exactly you want to achieve, and then we give a complete solution. We don't give a information because we don't believe in giving a information which is available ample, right? There are so many information available in the net, people are confused. So we are not into just another organization who is giving the information, we are giving the solution which is very much suitable for you. That is the first thing, right? The second thing is the career is not built in a day, right? So when you join or when you sign up for any product of Dheya, right, we are going to be with you. So we have so many students, and I'm sure Hemantji, when he started mentoring the student, even the parents, they approach us for a small thing also, because we share a kind of a bonding, right? It's like a family doctor. जैसे छोटी छोटी चीजों के लिए हम लोगों से बात करते हैं, you can always approach to us because there are certain milestone in career. As the child who's into 10th class, right? I cannot decide 100% career at this point of time because technology is changing, right? Even though when he will reach to plus two, there's things going to change. He is reaching graduation or post graduation, there are things which is going to change. So we as a mentor, we know the real potential of a child, and we are kind of a person who handhold at each stage so that the child realize his exact potential and he's enjoying his life. So that's why we follow the concept called Mentor for Life, and it's a community. There are 3,000 plus mentor across the country, and there's an organization who is supporting you. So we are not an individual. A lot of individual, they do come to us, right? So here there is an organization who is backed up with everything, and there are long-term association kind of a thing. Okay. Any other questions? If anyone has a question, we can take
So
it.
Arvind, there is one question from Satish. Says, what is the process you adopt to help a student base career path suitable to his competence?
So we have a complete process, sir, and we are expert in that, I can say. We are serving this nation from the last 15 years. So we have a very structured process of handling people, understanding them through the assessment, which is, I can say, it's a 10% of this entire work. Understanding your family. There are 13, 14 personalization required, right? When we choose a career. Career is not just education, which most of the people, they don't understand, right? So we understand all the personal information, right? And then we customize this entire solution for your child. So if I have to give some example, right, how we go about, okay, a child who is completing the assessment and we found that the child is very creative and he's also interested into management field. Probably I can suggest a career. I'm just taking a random because there are many other factors which I'm not combining here, right? I'm just taking two factors. So the child who is very creative, interested into management field, can get into probably the advertisement. Now advertisement is a career, right? Now somebody asks me what you do. I say I'm a salesman. So somebody will say, okay, I'm a advertising professional. But again, if I go deeper down, there are aspirations. There are students, they have a larger dream, right? So we cannot put into the boxes and I can say, okay, you just do this thing. There are many possibilities. He can become an entrepreneur, he can become a businessman, he can do a job, or he can become a self-employed professional also doing individual consulting in the market. Now, based on the aspiration, we have to give them exposure. So that we also plan. There are a lot of parents, they come and say, okay, I'm looking for abroad education, right? We are not into admission kind of a thing, but yes, we do advise if the aspiration is very high and the foreign education is required, because there are a lot of people, they have money and they just want to spend on the foreign education, and most of the cases it is not required, because going into tier 3 college in some other country is like getting into tier 3 college of India. Doesn't make any big difference. So there are many factors which we understand and we are going to customize this entire solution for you. As simple as that. Hope I have answered the question.
So Arvind, another point is it's not only deciding at this point because the way technology and world is changing, whatever you choose as a career for your child
Right.
can't be sufficient as a milestone 10 years down the line. So as a part of whole process, we prepare this child a methodology, a process, and a thinking ability that if they come across similar situation 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line, how to approach this challenge. So the whole ideology or methodology in terms of process, choosing a career process is what is more important than just selecting I want to be in mass media or I want to be in advertising. So that's this whole process is important, is what is packaged in this.
So Ronak has a question that please suggest courses after +2 commerce. There are so many things to do. What exactly you want to do? Unless until if you have not decided the goal, whatever course you do, you can do n number of course. But again, the question remains the same. Why I'm doing this? I find there is a lot of reluctance in accepting the result of test agencies like yours adopt. How can you resolve it? Have you understood the question, sir? There is a lot of reluctance, okay, in accepting the result of test.
So looks like Arvind and Satish, you can correct if our understanding. If the test results are out, the question whether it is matching with the reality what student has and what parent believe. Is that the question, Satish?
Yeah, so he's asking, we have certain assessment. Yes, we do have certain assessment.
Yeah.
And once the assessment is done, right, we have a validation process. And unless and until it is not validated, we don't give any kind of a career advice, because that will not be the justice to a child, right? So again, I'll ask, like, you have completed the assessment and I have a report in front of me, and when we do the session, the parents and the students are there, right? And we first validate, okay, this report says your child thinks like that, he has these kind of interest, he has this kind of a personality, can you validate it, right? I have never met a parent, neither the child, so it's a first time validation happens. If the parent says yes, what you are talking about, my child is 100% matching or 95% matching, then we have to move further. So of course the validation happens. It's not one way kind of a information. That's again I said, it's not an information business. We are giving a solution to you which is customized and personalized to it. I'll give a very simple example which most of the people can understand, right? Let's assume I have a problem, right? Although we don't talk about the problem, but I have a problem and I go to doctor, and doctor doctor says, okay, why don't you do a pathological test? Now I have a report in my hand, right? Now the doctor, he is going to customize the entire treatment for you based on the stats received through the test and all, right? We have the similar kind of a process. I have a report of yours and I have to customize this entire treatment for you so that you achieve what you are looking for. So there is no ready-made solution. There is no one-way communication, right? I have to understand you and then I have to give a solution. As simple as that. So again, it is customized and personalized to possible level. I hope we have answered the Satish's question. Thank you, sir. Any more question? If somebody has a more questions, we would like to take. I think you all should ask the questions because you are spending time, right? It's valuable, I believe, where everything is here and there and people are spending time together. Let's make it more valuable. And we go with certain thought processes. As simple as that.
So Satish, one quick data point, since you had a question on report is, as of now, more than 3.5 lakh students have taken the test across India and abroad. So the report is very much authenticated and validated from time. Just wanted to give you the numbers, because numbers speak in today's world.
So what are the typical challenges students face typically in choosing a career? See, people come with a perception. The perception is either they have heard some career, right? So they go with a trend, or they are more biased with the marks. That is the typical mentality of every student and society, right? But when they come to us, they see a career in a very different way, right? Because I have a lot of potential, right? And if I'm not utilizing my potential in a right way, either I will be underutilized or I'll be overutilized. In both the cases, things are not good, right? So you should know what you want to achieve, what are your aspirations, and there are many things. So can you do multiple things at the time, like we can have a main career? And of course, that's a great question and I would like to answer this. In this era, right, people are doing multiple things, right? And there's no harm in doing multiple things. It is like at some point of a time, you have to choose a career which is a kind of a primary career. There is a primary career and there's a parachute career, right? So it's like a parachute. I have a two career. One is like, there are a lot of students, they come to us and they say, okay, hey, I love singing, or I love playing crickets, or I want to be YouTuber, or there are so many things. These are the trending things, right? When people generally they get attracted towards this. But the thing is, these all careers are more like a audience based career. So if the audience likes, you are the king, and if you are not, then still you have to learn on your livelihood. Now what you're doing on your livelihood, there has to be certain fundamental career with you. Otherwise, at some point of a time, you will face a lot of challenges. And we are seeing this. I have seen so many people preparing for government jobs and all, and they have reached to 30 and they come and they say, okay, I don't know what to do. I don't have any skill. I am just a normal graduate and I am 30, what I should do. So we all should know where I have to quit, which one I have to follow, which is my primary career. Why I said this parachute career. Okay, I want to become a singer, right? But singing is not giving me the livelihood at this point of time, but I have to invest a lot. But parallelly, I have a fundamental career which is giving me my livelihood. At some point of a time, it is going to cross, right? Where your singing career either taking like a parachute, you just go, right? Otherwise, if it is not working, then of course you have a fundamental career to back up, because students are exposed to so many things. So there's no harm in pursuing one, two, or might be a three career also. There can be combination of careers also, because there are a lot of combinatorial careers are also coming. Whereas I'll give a very simple example. If somebody writes and somebody sings also, you can become a jingle. You can always sing a jingle. TB ad jo aata hai, ting ting ting. So there are a lot of combination of careers too. So don't have to worry. What your advice for the parents? I just have one advice, sir. Just plan it, because you are investing a huge sum on the children's education, right? And the investment is not just for money. It is not only about the money, right? It's all about emotion. It's all about the effort which child is putting. And just one great thing, planning the career in advance, can save so many things in life, right? You won't believe it. I have seen so many people. Recently, I was dealing with a family where the child was 28, the parent was about to retire, and he had invested so much money in the child education, and the child is not doing anything. Now the worry is, I'm about to retire, whether I should take care of my career or my child's career. Simple. So it's a fact of life. So plan it. ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं लगता. And आप जो plan में खर्च करने वाले हैं, trust me, you are going to save 20 times bigger than that. Because if I save 1 year of my life, and even if I am earning 10 lakh rupees at some point of time, I am saving 10 lakh rupees now. So plan it, as simple as that. Whatever you are doing, do with 100% clarity. Even if you're not clear for 1%, you are not clear. there's no thing कि मुझे कम clarity है, मुझे ज़्यादा clarity है. Clarity नहीं है तो नहीं है. Right, sir? So I think we don't have much questions, so we'll end the session.
Do you want to talk about the next step? If you want to go ahead on that.
Right, right. So what we will talk about here is just 2 minutes. So those who are keen to sign up for the kids, right? We have certain programs, right? You can go through the website or you can ask for the information. I'm sure the Meenakshi is in touch with you all. So probably you can ping her. There's one program which is very much suitable named Dheya Compass, which has a complete solution what you are looking for at this point of a time, which is more like a basic career plan. It has assessment, it has a complete personalization, and you will get a complete clarity what my child is going to do, right? How people will know him, what kind of identity he is going to have in the world, what kind of education, what kind of entrance examinations, all small information, right, will be given to you on a customization level, right? So you can go for that. For more information, I think you can visit the website also. You can have a chat with Meenakshi. She will help you to sign up for the product.
So, Satish, to your question, what's your advice for parents? I just have one more pointer is typically parents decide the career for kids. I would say that instead of you deciding the career for your kids, you empower or enable them to decide themselves and guide
Right.
them. I think that's the best investment you would do as a part of this process. And that's coming from my experience working on this process. What I would say.
So thank you everyone, and I hope you all are safe and sound at your home. And please take care. This is a little scary situation in the market, but yeah, this is a tough time. We all are going to pass it through, and I hope the children is going to have a fantastic life and careers too. Right? With this, we are just ending the session. Thank you. So probably you all can connect to Meenakshi, and we can take it further. Thank you. Thank you everyone.
Subscribe and press the bell icon to enjoy more exciting and enlightening videos from Dheya.